Hello guys, welcome to our video presentation of our final project of COMT 3074. My name is Yagnik Patel and my student ID is 1013244163. We have 5 members in our team doing this project. Nisarg Patel, Yagni myself, Viswaraj Rana, Maitri Patel and Viraj Patel. So for our video presentation, we all will be explaining a bit about what we have done and contributed for this project. So for my part, I was handling the database and the uh, model class for our application. So for that, inside our database, app database, there we are using the room, uh, which is a database object mapping library that makes it easy to access the database on an Android application, which lets us also write the queries very easily. And room has 3 main components. The first one is an entity, and the second one is in database and DAO. So for first, we have to create an entity. So inside then our model folder, we have the restaurant class. So in our restaurant class, we are importing in some libraries from the Android.os and some from Android X. So we have over here some libraries imported. So here we are using an annotation entity to create a table inside our database with all these columns. So we have here we are implementing the parsable for this our inside our restaurant class. Parcel is a message container, a message being the data and an object reference, moving the data from one component to another component inside our application. It's very easy within parcel. We have a few variables here for our database table. The first one is in primary key, which we are putting annotation using an annotation as in primary key. We are putting as integer. We have a string for the restaurant name, address for the restaurant address. We have a description, tags, and the phones. All of them are strings, and all the attributes we are keeping is at a private. And the last one is in private float rating. We have a few constructors here. The first one is for all the parameters. The second one is with the parcel, and we have the third one is to write to parcel method. Over here we are using the creator collection. Creator is equal to new creator restaurant collector, and we are also creating the create from parcel method for our inside our restaurant class. And we also have some getters and setters to access the data and variables from our tables easily. And we are overriding the toString method on the default one, and we have our own toString method which is over here. So our model is done. Now we have to create the database using the room database. So our entity is ready. So now we have inside our app database, we have imported some libraries over here. We are using the database annotation, and inside that we are passing the entities which we have created inside the model folder restaurant, and the version is equal to 1. Also we are extending the room database for this class, which is the base class for all the databases. We are creating the new variable over here with the type of app database, the name is instance, and also the DAO, which we don't need for this class right now. So first we have to initialize it. We already have the instance of our this class, but if the instance is equal to null, we have to initialize it. For that, we have instance is equal to a room dot database builder. Database builder takes like three parameters. One is in context, which we are passing as a context dot get application context, and a class as well. The class with an annotation of database, which we have done over here inside our app database. So we have to pass this class as well. And the third one is the name of the database file, which we have over here as well. And we are allowing all the main queries and the build to create and initialize our database for our application. So that's everything for the app database class. And inside the DAO we have all the methods and queries to get the information from the database, and doing some mm, functions for the database. So we are importing some library like queries or anything. We are putting the annotation GAO for this class as well. This one is an interface, so we are using all the queries over insert. We have the insert all, which gonna put insert all the restaurants we want to insert. We have the count restaurant method, which gonna count the restaurant whatever we have inside our database. And we are using the list collection to store all the restaurants we have inside the database as well. We are finding the restaurant by name using this query. Select from all the restaurants where the name is name. And we can also use the update restaurant method to update the database restaurant address, name, or description, or anything you want to update it. And also delete restaurant and the tag filter. So that's everything we have for the database. And just want to go through the manifest file as well. So for that we don't have much of the things. We have just user permissions. User needs to allow these permissions to access the full application. Without this permission our application will not work correctly. And we have some activities over here. We have like 6 or 7 activities we have to define over here. The main activity, welcome page, restaurant list, and detail, and all the activities we have. So that's everything for my part. Thank you so much, guys.
Hi, my name is Rat Patel, and I'm taking over from Yagnik Patel to show our app presentation, our project presentation through the restaurant app. We have used Android Studio for it, and I'll just dive into the presentation. So this is our splash screen, which gets loaded when you click on the app icon, and this is the first screen which the user sees when he clicks on the app icon. So it's basically a linear layout, and we have just kept here a splash screen picture, and I'll show you the code for the file. This is the basic code for the file, and we have just used here some animation tools, which are means it will just start the app when you just click on the app icon. It will start, and this is the time it will take for waited time. And if it gets no interruption, it will just deliver you to the login page. And if you get any interruptions or catch, it won't let you be in the login page. And that's very rare to get an error, but it's just basic something new to implement. So this is just the basic code for animation. It just tries, and you can see if catch interruption, and finally it shows you to the splash finish, like animation is finished, and you can now log in. So now it will redirect you to the login page, and I'll show you the login page code here. It's the main file, and even in the login page we have used a linear layout, and the linear layout just shows that In the linear layout, we have used first the text view here to show the restaurant name, and again the text view to show the login. And we have a text username and text password to write the username and the password. And the last at last we have a login page, means login button. So it's just done through the linear layout. And now I'll just go through the code. And basically main activity doesn't have any much code. It's just that we have written the button thing, and then after we have just declared the button, and we have used the button when it's like clicked on the login. The user or the user who is logging in can just see the details of the app. And this login page will redirect you to the add restaurant page. And the add restaurant page is just activity activity main. That's the login page. Activity welcome is just when it redirects you from the main activity to add restaurant page. So we'll go through the add restaurant page quickly. So in add restaurant page, I have used constant layout. So this is the constant layout we have used. And the first one, we have just written a text, welcome text, and then after the description of the text. And we have the text to write in a text box to write a name of the restaurant, then a text box to add the address of the restaurant. Again, we have a text box for phone number, and the last text box is for description. And we have used a spinner tag to just to load if they want to add some spinner. They want to add some text that is written in restaurant. So we have used here a spinner, and we have here the rating, that if someone wants to rate here before at the time of adding it. And lastly, we have two buttons. One is for add, and the second is to load data. So if anybody has the added restaurant, you can load data from here. And we'll just go through the code for of the add, like the uh, add restaurant page. And here the add restaurant page, I have named it a welcome. So the first page after logging in, it will show you this page. So just this is a welcome or add restaurant page. And we have declared here the four uh, things, that the app database, edit text, rating bar, and the spinner. And you can see that in the first section over here, we have just you we have used here, sorry, we have used here the database, the button, and just basically we have defined all the things which we are going to use in this code. We have already defined it in on the top. So it basically makes it easy for us to work on the other thing, to work on the code afterwards. So this is basically it. And if you see this thing is like when you are logging in, you have a username. So it will first show you the output of the username, that if you are not leaving it empty, so it will show you if you're writing a username as admin, or if you're writing a username as Vraj, so it will show you welcome Vraj. It's just basically simple text for it. And here you can see that it will make this welcome plus username. So that's it. And the other class is for spinner, that you have to add them tags. And basically we are using this tags at some other point of the app to search the other parts, like to search a restaurant. If it's an Indian restaurant, Chinese restaurant, Mexican restaurant, you have added a tag, and it basically we are using it in the back of the app, that to search for restaurants. And the next thing, the code is just first ask if there are already data, is for data. So if there is a data in the app, it will first show you that there is already data and you can import it. And if there is no data, you can add the data. So this is about it, the code all. So it will first ask you for, if it's if there is no data, then you have to add the data. So it will ask you for name, address, description, and the tag of anything, and then after the phone number and also the rating. So that's it for like adding the restaurant. So you need all these things, that name, address, description, tag, phone, and lastly you can rate it. Sorry. And afterwards there is a listener tag. You can just, and you can click on the add button to make it work on the database as well. So you, if you click on the add, it will just pass to the database. You can see added to database. So if you click and if you write everything clearly, it will add to the database, and then after it will show you in the search as well that this restaurant is there, and it will show you a pop-up that the restaurant is also added with this at the added to database. And then after, basically the last one is to load the data, uh, which the button we have used here to load the data. That's the code for this. If you want to some load data, if you want to load some data, then this will be useful. And that's it here. That's it from my side, and I'll pass on to the next person for the other pages, for the review of the other pages. Thank you.
Hi there, guys. My name is Maitri Patel, and my student ID is 101308984, and I would be explaining the restaurant list. So let's not waste any time and let's get started. So I've done the restaurant list section over here. But for that, uh, let me show you the layout page first. So in this relative layout page, as you can see, I have over here two uh, search bars over here, search tags. The first one is for the restaurant name, and the second one is for the tags. So in the first tag, you can like search any restaurant names, and your restaurant name would pop up in this. And in the second tag bar, it would show us what like you have tagged. Like in, if you have searched some restaurant, it would show up your details over here of the last restaurant that you searched, and it will automatically open the restaurant that you were trying to search. Moving on over here, in this section over here, I have defined the search tag bar over here, as you can see. So first we have to define it, and then I'm going to set up the DB instance over here, the database instance over here, this one. And then we have to fetch the list from the database, as you can see over here. So that would be pretty much good by then. Uh, After that, moving on over from here, we have to loop the restaurant to get the name, so that we can show it in our list view component. So I have written over here for that, as you can see. So it would show us the list view component of the restaurants that we want to view, that we want to go to, that we want to search for. Moving on from here, it's in this restaurant data in our database. I like formed a list for the users. So in that we have to like search from filtering restaurant according to their name for that. And after that, over here, as you can see, the list beside over here, when in this, it means like when the user types the tag name, and it would start the new intent and take user to the tag restaurant list, so that you can see the restaurant names over there. Moving on to the next page, over here, as you can see, I have listed the items over here. So when you're gonna search it from over here, you would be able to see the item list, like the recent list that you have searched, like how many restaurants have you searched over here. And then from this page over here, I'm gonna fetch the tag name specified earlier by the user, and then using the shared preferences and showing all those rest with comes under that tag. So in this tag, I'm gonna like fetch all of the tag names of the restaurants, and that's gonna be earlier specified by the users, and then use the shared preferences for that. And in the last part over here, or wait, over here, as you can see in the last part, our add the restaurant name, the restaurant list, and about us, and what they have to tell about we have to tell about our restaurant. So I'll be writing all of that in this part. So these are all like the menu options of the user over here, and yeah, and that's all. Like we can like add restaurant name, the list, the about us section. It will all come in the menu options that the user has created. And that's all for today. That's everything for my part. Hope you liked it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Vishwara Singh Rana and I will be talking about mobile group project. So I'm gonna cover the current directions, full map view and the restaurant details. So let's start with first restaurant detail screens. So first of all, let me just log into this. Okay, so what is restaurant details screen? It's when you added the restaurant name, address, and whole description of the restaurant, then you can see the full view of the any added restaurant list. Like this already added in this database. So if I choose this restaurant, then this will show us the whole saved data of that restaurant, that special restaurant, like its name, address, phone number, tag, description as well, and the rating, which you can edit all thing, and you can also get the current direction and full map view in this page as well. And you can also have 2-3 buttons for any social media share if you want, like Twitter and Facebook. You can also save and delete the whole description of this particular restaurant, and you can also edit any details if you want. So let's start with this code. So first of all, you can see us here. So as you can see, we have to create the bundle. We have to create some images and the buttons for the email, Facebook, and Twitter, and also for direction and full map view for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5 things. So we can implement the image button from here, this v2, and as we move on, if we go to the layouts of this particular screen, I can go to design, and just a second. As you can see here, it has many boxes for the text boxes, like restaurant name, address, phone number, and phone number tags and description. But the phone number has only numerical one. You cannot add any words in that. and we have implemented 4 boxes for direction, as you can see here, 3 for share and 2 for direction and map. And these 2 buttons are for save and delete one. And this is the rating button. You can give any rating if you want. So we go in the code of this one. So all the fields are same, like text view, text, and this all text view are almost same. Just the name, text name is different for all of this. Just name and some like height and width are different. All the other things are same for this. And as we move on in this one, there's also similarity between the text view of all the fields, and there is also the image buttons, which we have implemented in the screen page. As you can see here, this is a cool code for this one. There's 5 buttons, and this is implementation of the 5 buttons in here. So all implementation for that. Okay, so let's see the second one, current direction. The current direction is this, as you can see here, this button, current direction, which gives us the where we can, what's the distance between the current place where you are now and from the direction address to this restaurant. So let's see how this works. If I click on this one, it's first of all it gives the, yeah, it's we have to allow the maps to access our location. Just one time. It takes a minute. You can see here we have to implement the on map ready from the Google Play Store to get the direction from the one place to another, which is just as you can see here, this one, it's from Google Maps .add market, which will automatically brings the direction and the distance between that places. As you can see here, it is shown from here, 1 day and 15 hours of that. Okay, so let's see the next one, full map view, which is basically the similar thing, like you get the map of that place, not the direction, just a map of that places. And you also have to implement the on map ready from the Google Maps to access the direction, access the location of that. As you can see here, this just gives location of that particular restaurant, not the whole address, sorry, not the whole direction. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nisarg Patel and my student ID is 1013404003. As explained by my fellow teammates about the different sections and the parts of this restaurant application that we made, I will explain you about the About Us, that's the last page, and the actual running and testing of the application. So let's get started with that. So the About Us layout page is a simple layout with a heading at the top and then this name and student ID of each team member who have worked in this project. So we had the group of 5 people who are working in this project. And looking at the code of the About Us page, it's just access to the menu items such as add restaurant, restaurant list, and About Us. That's the menu options we have created in our application. So let's just run this application and see how it works. So when the user clicks on the application, it first shows the splash screen. After a few seconds, they will be redirected to the login page, and when the user logs into the system with the correct credentials, they will be directed towards the welcome page, which is also the add new restaurant page as well. So in this page you first see a welcome message such as welcome admin, because here the username is admin, that's why it says the welcome admin. After that it have input fields for adding the details of the restaurant. Then also the user can specify the tag, like what kind this restaurant is. It's a Mexican, or it serves Asian food, or organic, or vegetarian, Italian, or others, whichever they want. After that they can also give other star ratings for this restaurant as well. So let's just put some dummy name. So let's say Mantra by host, and the address I actually pasted in the clipboard. So that's the address, and the phone number just put random 647-111-2222. And in the restaurant description just write a random description like very good restaurant. And then in the tag, and let's just put vegetarian, because I know this restaurant is serving a best vegetarian food. And in the stars let's give like a 4.5, and press the add button. So now it gives us the message that it's been added successfully to the database. Now how can I access the restaurants that I added in this application? So for that you have the access to this menu option. So when you click the menu option you see add restaurant, restaurant list, and about us. So when you click on the restaurant list, it shows the list of all the restaurants that you have saved in this application. Also you can search the restaurants according to their restaurant name. So let's say some name starting with C. So when you press C, it gives a restaurant name who has C letter in their name. So it says Chipotle, which has C, and the cuisine also with a C. And also the user can search the restaurant according to the tag. So remember we made the restaurant the Mantra by host with the tag vegetarian. So when you type vegetarian and press the search tag, it gives us a list of all the restaurants whose tag is vegetarian. So it's here we can see Mantra by host. What if the user wants to edit this restaurant information, or they want to find the location of this restaurant on their Google Maps? So if you simply just click on it, you see all the details you saved for this restaurant. You can also change the description, change the details and everything, and press the save button, and your changes will be saved. And now the user have two direction options, like two location options. When they click on the current direction, it will show the direction of that restaurant from their current location. So as you can see from my current location, it shows like 11 minutes drive. And if the user clicks on the full map view, it shows the particular description about that restaurant, not the whole direction from the user's current location. And also you can share the restaurant information as well on the Google Maps or the social media accounts like Twitter and Facebook. So if you just click on the Gmail, it asks you for like how do you want to process this request, like through Gmail or any other email app you have, like Yahoo or any other. And the data you see, it's a JSON format or object format, you say. So when you share this information, it will be in the form of a data, in the form of this JSON. So yep, let us just edit and delete one of the restaurant we created. That's a Mantra by host. So in the phone number, let's just change that to something like 999966611, anything like that, and change the star ratings to like 3 and press the save. So it says changes saved. Now if we open the restaurant, we can see that the phone number is also changed and the ratings are also changed. Now what if you want to delete this restaurant? So you simply press this delete key and you can see the message restaurant deleted, and it's deleted from the list. Now if you click on the about us page, then as I explained earlier, it shows the name and the student ID of the group members. So yep, that's pretty much it for our application. I hope you guys liked our idea and the project. Thank you so much for listening and have a great one.